what is like animation and how you would like describe it for you? When you say animation, what is it for you in your own words?
Well, it's nothing new. It's been said in so many shapes and forms. I think it's just illusion of life, if I have to sum it up to Disney's most famous. But it's basically life. I mean, Dr. Frankenstein knows about it, I think.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. Well, it's everything that pushes. It pushes everything past the still life status, right? Everything that moves, it becomes animated, right? So, to me, just giving life to whatever you have to do it in a way that feels real, right?
Yeah.
I mean, even if you have a cube, it can have, a range of emotions, can move in many different ways.
So basically making like something, its character or its cube, like believable to the audience, that is like, it has emotions, it has kind of life or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That can go as far as, hyper-realistic. Well, we have support, mocap, as of lately, but it is a help, but still needs to be, channeled, fit with the direction, etc.
Yeah, I agree.
It was a time when I was opposed to mocap,
Yeah, me too.
because it's cheating, but it's not cheating, really. It's a support. It's just like you shoot references. And
Yeah.
What's the difference, You still have your fingerprint on it.
Yeah, your kind of soul.
Yeah.
How did you start your journey? Like, how did you learn about like animation, and how did you decide that this is what you want to do?
Well, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was probably in primary school at the time. I'm pretty sure I was like first grader or second.
Yeah.
I always liked cartoons. Whatever it was, I had favorites, of course, but we had a very restricted palette of offerings in the communist bloc.
Yeah.
What we had our Romanian cartoons, we had Polish, Yugoslavian, Russian.
Yeah. There is. I remember the Russian one was Soyuz Multfilm.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't know how you say in Romanian. It was kind of the dominant one, right, from the Soviet Union stuff.
Yeah. They had really good. I'm not sure if it was Soyuz film, but they had this Snow Queen. Do you remember that feature film?
Yeah, of course.
What was in the 50s was made.
Yeah.
And man, it was so nice.
Yeah.
It was so nicely done. And even now, it's the test of time. It's
I was super little when it came. I wasn't born when it came out, but like I was super little when I watched the one you mentioned.
Yeah, me neither, man. That's like in the 50s.
Yeah.
Okay, so I like the cartoons. Yes, I was going to matinees on TV. It was kind of very little amount of cartoons.
Yeah.
It was evenings or Saturday and Sunday mornings for 1 hour or so.
Yeah.
The communist news kicked in, and I remember I was at the premiere of Romanian feature film called The Three Musketeers.
Yeah.
And they had some prizes to share. Mm-hmm. And prizes were like celluloid, painted celluloids from the
Yeah.
and they invited on stage, kids who wanted, to pass a test.
You were one of them.
That being, I didn't want it. My colleagues, go man, go, you are good, blah blah blah,
Yeah.
And I went on stage, and we had to mime making an omelette, basically.
Yeah.
Even that I screw it up. I think I forgot to beat it up. It's. Anyways, the whole process, mime it, burn, that stuff. So I won one of those things.
Award.
But sadly I don't have it anymore. I think it started crumbling, the paint inside.
Yeah.
It was old. Anyways, so that was my first closer contact with cartoons.
Yeah.
That being the celluloid, the Premiere, I remember I was going to matinees like every Saturday or Sunday. They had like a small projection room where they put cartoons only for kids.
Yeah.
And there I've seen a lot of Disney movies.
Yeah.
Strangely enough, they had those. I remember I liked a lot Jungle Book.
Yeah.
101 Dalmatians. I was in love with that.
Yeah, I remember the song from Jungle Book, the Bare Necessity. It's kind of my way of living the life.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
So after, it was a long period of silence. I mean, I was drawing all the time, basically. But I had no direction towards this industry. And later on, I went to the art school. I came back from there. I remember they had a cartoons class at that time. I don't know how good it was, or it was communist times, were somewhat limited in resources, I would say. But anyways, after school, I did some odd jobs, etc. And I think in 94, my brother went to Bucharest, the capital, for some sci-fi convention.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, my mother was so panicked because he didn't come back from there.
Okay.
And he managed to call like 1 week later or so. And we soon find out, if that's soon enough, that he got a job in a cartoon studio.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I think he...
So your brother is animator too, like you?
Yeah, he used to animate. Now he's a concept artist.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we split ways in the 90s, late 90s. Otherwise, we've been working together.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah. And he asked me, would you like to come join? We had these jobs, it was like in betweening.
Yeah. There
So
was like the traditional, in a traditional animation is like you have an animator to do kind of a blocking pause with the main pauses and stuff, and then you have the, I don't know the name of it, like charts or something when he does the spacings and stuff, and then you just take it and
spreadsheet.
Yeah, spreadsheet, right?
Yeah, and I got there, and there was a young studio called Animadream.
Yeah.
That was working on a Spanish production about Pelé as a child.
Yeah, the
footballer. Yeah. Yeah, the show was called Pelesino, like
Pelesino.
Little Pele, right?
Yeah.
So I did a test, drawing test basically, not an in between. Just copy this. Can you copy this? Yeah. So I got the job there.
Yeah.
And I did in betweening, cleaning up for a while. It was a whole bunch of guys from the old Romanian animated film studio.
Yeah.
That was the States brand. I learned a lot there.
Yeah.
I learned a lot. And it was a time of exploring, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
That's
think it
super
took me
interesting.
like about a year, maybe, to start animating.
Yeah. But had you like, I know, for example, in 3D animation, we don't have like actually someone attached to us to learn from. We kind of have supervisors from whom we kind of learn stuff, but it's not someone who kind of always with you, like saying you did this, you did. But I know I never had that because I never did a traditional animation, but I know that like whoever was doing in-betweening, it's kind of like you have your animator kind of like saying this.
Yeah, and you play favorites also, because some of them they draw like us. Some of them they draw very roughly. Some of them they draw very clean and correct, in the model, in character. So you are paired up,
Yeah.
The time was that when you had actually to do pencil test. You would see it. They would film it. Paper by paper by paper by paper. And you see your animation. I don't know, hours later or next week or.
I imagine at that time, like referencing with the video or something wasn't a thing, right? Am I?
No. Who had the camcorder, man?
Yeah. So basically, what was your option for like referencing
Your
stuff?
own body. I did that like. I would mime the shot, like a climbing stairs. To just see where goes where, what goes where. How maintain balance or start observing yourself. That shows a lot actually if you just put it in your muscle memory. It shows a lot in your drawing as well. So I did animation 1 year later probably, I don't remember exactly, but my first shot was, look, all we had, it was Preston Blair animation cartoon or what, cartoon animation, or how is it called, the book, Preston Blair's.
I don't remember.
It's a very old one.
Okay.
It's a very old one. So we had like what, Xerox copies and stuff like that of the book. There was no books that you could buy out there.
Yeah.
And that was it, right? So you would rely a lot on yourself to act it or whatever.
Yeah, that is cool, because I'm sure like nowadays that you have all the resources that you want, like shooting yourself and going frame by frame, seeing how something works and stuff. It's kind of like super useful. But I mean, when you do it hard way, you, in my opinion, you learn like much more than you go with the easy way, kind of.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
just to go back to what I was intending to say, is that the first shot, it was like everything that I learned, I just ditched it and I animated frame by frame on once. It was like a goalkeeper jumping, catching, and falling.
Oh yeah.
Man, and it showed. It was like inconsistent, volumes, etc. that was my first shot. After that, I learned a lesson. But in 2D animation, I reached to a point where the timing, I knew it by heart.
Yeah.
I knew right away how many in-betweens I need here, or the spacing, slow in, slow out, all that.
Yeah.
I could tell, how many drawings I need, for this. It was pretty cool. Once that I moved to 3D with that horizontal time range, and especially if you have a big one, a big shot.
Yeah.
All that goes, 3 frames.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. In my opinion, when you in the level, when you do something and if you play, press the play button, you exactly know what you will see.
Yeah.
That's the level of, I don't know, master level, kind of.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I don't. It doesn't happen to me. To me, that instinct, it's kind of gone.
Yeah.
I mean, I have instincts, but not as clearly defined as I had it in 2D.
Yeah. So basically, what brought you to Canada in terms of profession? How did you get here?
Greed. I want to know more, right?
Yeah.
Learn more. It was again somewhat accidental how I got in here, because I was moving quite a bit around in Europe. I remember I was in Denmark at that time at Deadline Games. Really cool studio, really cool. And I was doing all this, 10-second club.
Yeah.
Which became 11-second club. I did that a lot, and I was in forums and participating, looking around, whatever, see what people do.
Yeah, it's always interesting.
And at some point, I remember Emil Gorayev.
Oh yeah.
He just dropped a line there. I need a senior animator in Montreal. Send me your demo reels. He's very frank.
Yeah.
So I sent him whatever I had at the time, and that's what brought me actually in Canada to Zemil.
Yeah.
He was working at Ubisoft at the time.
Mm-hmm.
He was animation director there, and he needed more people for Prince of Persia.
Yeah.
2008.
Yeah, I remember that game. Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah. So basically, your first major project kinda was under Ubisoft for Prince of Persia, or will you describe something that you did in Romania, major project? What was your first project that you are kinda, let's say, proud of?
One is the maiden voyage. It's Pelesinho.
Okay.
That's how it started, right?
Yeah. So your first project.
It was. You can't even find it in on YouTube nowadays.
But you
wasn't
always
very
remember
good,
the first one. Yeah.
But that was my first thing that is going to stay with me forever, right?
Yeah, of course.
Other than that, I would mention, two more films in 2D that I've been part of. Princess and the Pea and L'Oeil du Loup, Eye of the Wolf.
Mm-hmm.
Again, there were, projects that you could try stuff.
Yeah.
It was a time for experiment. These things, they stay with you.
Yeah.
But yes, for games, I started with that's another title that is going to stay with me forever, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Armies of Exego, that I was part of in Hungary.
Yeah.
A strategy game. But the major, it was Prince of Persia. Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
You're working at Ubisoft, and of course, from the Ubisoft, I mean, for me, like the most famous one is Assassin's Creed, which I'm a big fan of. I played like all the from the start to the end. I'm gonna start this new one, which is Mirage, but I haven't had the time to download it and start it. But yeah, so you worked on Assassin's Creed, and you worked on a lot of them, right?
yeah, my first one was Assassin's Creed 2.
Yeah. I was gonna ask, what was the experience, like the challenges? How was the project? Like we all know it is to be a great game, but what was like the inside of it? What was the challenges that you faced as an animator? I mean, if it's not confidential, of course.
I hope not. I mean, that's some time. Technology surpassed that thing.
Yeah.
Look, I did cinematics
Yeah.
in Assassin's Creed 2. It was pretty difficult because we started using mocap at the time. And I was somewhat for it. That was the first game I've been more involved in the mocap shooting as well.
So you basically wear the suit?
No, not that involved.
Oh, okay.
No, we had actors and they were pretty good.
Yeah.
They were pretty good. It was fun, to see, how a person transforms from a regular guy into Ezio, right?
Yeah.
Or Leonardo.
Yeah.
It was really interesting to see that change.
Yeah.
Look, the thing is that Sylvain, the animation director, did a great job on planning everything for the cinematics, setting up everything, working with the actors. It was fun to see that and contribute if you see something that could push a shot. The tools were kind of shaky at the time because we were working with the 3ds Max.
Yeah, so it wasn't Maya, it was 3ds Max. Okay.
Maya was for home. Yeah, and the process was kind of destructive. Once that you moved the mocap in Max, you couldn't go back in Motion Builder.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, we made it through, and it worked pretty good.
Was mocap a new technology at that time? Like it was just starting, or it was already like in use?
It was already in use, but I wasn't exposed yet to that much. UB had their own studio at the time.
Yeah. For
shooting mocap. It was well established.
I also heard something. I don't know if it's true. I waited for this moment to debunk that or confirm that. So when the game came out, I heard about there are many historians working on the game to have a correct geographic, correct names and stuff. And there was many historians from all over the world working on the game. Was it true?
I think so, because the research part, it's well done in advance.
Yeah.
And I know it's pretty accurate to what we end up with.
Yeah.
And they do a lot of research, in person or books or what they are called. These people.
Historians.
Conciliar?
I don't know.
Consultant.
Consultants.
Yeah, they had consultants for sure. I think Ubisoft do that a lot, especially with the historical pieces.
Yeah. Because I know, like, playing the games, the most like exciting stuff for me was like to explore worlds that was long gone, but like these guys who created all the worlds. Like, I remember playing the Valhalla one, which I'm a really big fan of the Norse mythology and stuff, and like the England was created really like realistically. Like where you go, you see references and Easter eggs from the past. And it was like really immersive experience. Like the game had, it was super fun.
Yeah, that pays.
Yeah.
You know, the research pays a lot.
Yeah.
For sure. Look, I think it was Rainbow Six that we had Green Beret coming in, you know, to tell us about breaching and, you know, tactics.
That's awesome. I mean, so basically you didn't research it on the internet or something. You just like had someone from the exact like profession come and say,
yeah, you had sessions. It's not like an abundance of, you know,
yeah.
moving in and, you know, stay
of course.
for the whole production there. No.
Yeah, but that's awesome.
Yeah.
Because you like learn directly from the one who knows the stuff.
Well, yeah, they have an impact, you know, on your perception as well, you know. I mean, you see clearly these are rugged people, you know. And you can see them do things, you know.
Yeah. So Assassin's Creed, and then was like Assassin's Creed first and then Far Cry, or so the Far Cry was after the Assassin's Creed for you?
Yes, I've been on AC2, Brotherhood for a bit.
Yeah.
And then it was Black Flag.
Yeah.
One of my favorites.
That's my favorite too. And I'm sure many like Assassin's Creed fans was like really taking that one as the like golden one.
Yeah. And after that I jumped on Far Cry's.
Yeah.
We had the benefit of working with another really good animation director, Alan Trades. Again, cinematics, right?
Yeah.
And I did a bit of in-game also. I helped the in-game team as well for a bit at some point. But mainly cinematics. And again, Alan, he did a hell of a job setting everything up. Because we had multiple characters. The player was basically the camera, right?
Yeah.
The big mute, never say anything.
Yeah.
I never enjoyed that part.
Which Far Cry was the first one?
4.
Far Cry 4. Yeah.
Then it was Far Cry 5.
Yeah. Far Cry 5, I remember like I was really into that game because of the like story and the characters. I mean the main protagonist, which was Jesus. I mean that actor was, I don't know, it was really cool.
Yeah.
And I remember the scene, and I know you animated it, the one at the start when he says like arrest me.
Oh yeah, the arrest scene.
Yeah, it is super tense. Yeah. That
shot, it wasn't something that I worked 100% on. It was, I don't know, it was a ton of characters.
A lot of characters, yeah.
So, I contribute to that, but not 100%.
Yeah.
But yeah, the protagonist, the marshal, the sheriff, reorganize people around, you know, the church, change some secondary animations on. There is always room for that because, right, we have the luxury of thinking.
Yeah.
Right, as an animator. As an actor, you rehearse it, you etc. Blah blah blah, you know.
Yeah.
But we have a limited amount of shots, right? That you can of takes that you can take, right? So there is an idea that it's worth exploring. That's going to happen, you know, on animation.
Yeah.
Right? So that was something that I'm always looking up for to add spice to if you have the luxury of time, the better probably. But even then, you probably end up, overdoing it or over polishing it. You can end up with something that's less convincing. It was. I don't know. With Ubisoft, I managed to explore quite a bit. Things, spices, as I said just earlier. Always, I usually keep an eye on subtext. Right.
I was just gonna ask about subtext next.
Okay.
So basically, you started it. You can just answer our question. What is like subtext? What is that in animation or in acting?
It's like reading between the lines, basically.
Yeah.
It can come in many shapes and forms. Some are big, some are really detailed.
Yeah.
That can give dimensionality to the character.
Yeah.
Instead of delivering just text, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look there, or that's actually bad, right?
Yeah.
Look there.
Yeah.
You can add something that tells more about the state of mind of the character, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
Look there, look, that is acting, but there is a background that you always need to think about. I find it very difficult to think of it in VFX, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because you don't have the luxury of context shots, for instance,
Mm-hmm.
or the script.
Yeah.
Just to go through it. In games we had that. I could read a script, I could mark things, I knew about the whole story. That's how you come up with the meanings in performance, right? There is a relation between characters, the way they react between each other, the way they look at each other, that also give dimension to the character, right?
Yeah.
And tell a story.
Yeah, of course.
That's one thing that I'm not really enjoying about in VFX is that you don't know because the client, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, in games I really enjoy that, going through.
Yeah, because it really
think
gives
of it.
layers to what you do.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the audience catches the subconsciously what you did.
There was a shot with the protagonist in Far Cry 5, I think. I don't remember his name, to be honest.
I don't remember. I called him Jesus in the game, but
Jesus, yes.
I don't.
He had his wife's tattoo on his forearm.
Yeah.
And I think the mocap was something like he showed it to the player, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he goes something like this,
Yeah.
But I felt that it can be improved, that thing. And what I did, I went once over and then I did this, he's sanctifying his wife,
Yeah.
very high regard, barely, even to touch,
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, yeah, because for example, when you do one time, it's the audience, okay, this is a tattoo, but when you linger there, but subconsciously.
Yeah, you can show it this way, or you can show it this way, or you can show it, gently, right?
Yeah.
With you keep your wife at high respect. That's basically the.
Yeah.
There are, I don't know, many things that you can add to the character.
Yeah. Did you play the games that you create?
Most of them, yes. I didn't play Prince of Persia, to be honest.
Yeah.
I played it there,
Yeah.
but not all of them. I was kind of picky. There are things that you like, there are things that you don't like. I never really. I mean, I had a PlayStation. I started, having a PlayStation at home. I don't know when I was in Far Cry 5, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Then I had a PlayStation. Then I start playing this, playing that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not a big console player.
Yeah, me
I'm
too.
more
I play everything.
shooting.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I played Far Cry 5, Far Cry 4, Far Cry 5, Assassin's Creed, I think, second, and Black Flag,
Yeah.
which I really like.
Yeah.
I think I spend most time with Black Flag.
Yeah. I think the most hours I have is on Valhalla for some reason. Yeah, because I mentioned that I really love the Norse mythology,
Yeah.
and it's like,
Wow,
Yeah,
there is magic in it, right?
yeah. I mean, as a gameplay and cinematic animator, you worked on in Ubisoft on a lot of games, and then you transitioned to VFX animation. Was it hard? Was it taking time from you to settle in the new industry?
It takes some time, yeah. Everything takes, right? Even when you wake up in the morning, it takes you some time to wind up. The craft is the same, right?
Yeah.
Craft is there. Lingo is different. Departments are different.
Yeah.
Differences in pipeline, but mainly lingo. You basically have to convert what you know in the new. Even from a VFX studio to another, you had to make conversion.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was good that I've seen the benefit of animating in 360, right?
Yeah.
That's especially good because you make sure everything looks right from every angle. I've seen a lot of animations, done for the camera exclusively. And honestly, if you take over someone else's shot, can become a nightmare for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything can be contorted for the camera. I don't really see the benefit unless it's cartoons and otherwise I don't really understand why is that better. Iterations on a shot can become a nightmare to yourself. To undo things that are
you did something and then there is a note and you have to go over it.
It takes a lot of time to fix your own thing, like hips and torso. And
I think as an animator, one of the biggest nightmares is to be assigned a shot that someone else started and then you have to continue finish it, because when you open the shot, it's like a jungle. You have to really put everything together and then start your own thing.
Yeah, hidden things. Those are the technical parts. People have different way of work, right? So things they find easy to them, saving time. I'm pretty simple in that aspect. I'm not doing ton of layers. I don't lay keys everywhere. I try to make it work with as less keys as possible. I think it's a good exercise, and you master it, as you grow old, right?
Because a lot of questions I've heard from the starting animators, beginners, was like, what is your process? How you do this? Do you use layers? Do you use this software? Do you use this thing? But I think like the magic is that you have to find your own way, and everyone like does what is comfortable for him or her.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is comfortable for you
Yeah.
is the opposite for me.
Yeah.
You know? That's why, in my opinion, animators should stay with their own shot.
Yeah. Yeah. Finish it.
Yeah, exactly. It's faster, in my opinion.
Yeah, but in productions, I think a lot of times stuff happens, and like you go from the shot, and you like don't have time to finish this, and then you start this, and
Yeah, there are things that fall off the chart, right? So someone have to pick it up, you know.
Yeah. On that note, I wanted to talk about like Transformers: Rise of the Beast, where I met you, because you were my supervisor, and I was an animator on the Transformer. What was that project for you? Was it like complicated? Was it super hard? Because I know like there's like robots, a lot of parts, a lot of things to animate. There's like transformations, and plus all of that, you're supervising. And so I'm gonna combine two questions here. What was it like working on Transformers, and what was it like to be a supervisor?
Okay, working on Transformers was something that I didn't even think of before.
Yeah.
And I was totally ignorant to the world.
Yeah.
I didn't grow up with this, right? But again, Emil made it appealing to me.
Yeah. And by the way, Emil was the anime director on Transformers.
Yes, and the man is a Bible. The man is
I
a
agree.
Bible, Transformers Bible.
Yeah.
Yeah, he knew his stuff, and I'm grateful that he actually dragged me in it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I started on Transformers by not being all that interested in the world. I find it kind of childish, and
Yeah.
it wasn't my thing. But in time, I tell you that much, I loved it.
Yeah.
In the end. It was a very challenging show because animating robots seems easy, but I think biped robots it's a hard thing to do because especially because you have all these shapes on you, like cubes, circles, everything that moves draw attention. So it was difficult to make it not be as striking for the viewer, right? So whenever you raise an arm, as simple as that, you have to make it in a way that doesn't show like a vast change of shapes. And, Plus, it wasn't. It had to be real, right?
Yeah, because like it's in the real world.
Yeah. So there's as less anticipation as possible, as less arcs as possible.
Yeah.
That was a thing that was pretty difficult to overcome because you come from a different. I don't even what I did before. Yeah, it was a Netflix show that.
Wasn't it Sonic?
No.
Okay.
No. No, it was with Digital Dimension. It was a show that didn't air in Netflix. A horror show, a TV series. It was kind of cartoonish, stylized, right? And from that to this, it was challenging.
Yeah, because in like cartoony arcs are kind of must. You have to have all the arcs, And in Transformers, I remember you saying always like, I don't know, no arcs, try to have like really realistic. I even remember seeing a reference from you or something where you showed the hand moving like realistic moving hand, like moving on the, like this, not with the like arcs and stuff.
That's we avoid, you know, the fluidity in motion. That's something that I learned also from the big man, you know, that in VFX nothing should be super fluid. Because it contrasts too much with the live footage.
You did a transformation shot. I remember the big one, like I think the biggest one.
Stratosphere.
Yeah, Stratosphere, when he like transforms and then Bumblebee comes up. But I remember myself doing a transformation shot which you supervised, and it was pretty hard to do. And I saw your transformation shot, it was like flawless. And the big Stratosphere, what was the like challenge? How was your process like thinking, I need to do this, I have this part going this way? What was your planning? Like, how did you achieve that shot?
Okay, I think that shot, I reset the tools, the transformation tool, like 3 times.
Okay.
I start splitting. So basically, we had to, as you remember, we had to start, you know, with the core of the motion first. Make it work. Underproved. Because it's really hard to go back to that. If you go back and modify the locomotion, then transformation doesn't work much. Sometimes it works, sometimes doesn't, but for the most part don't. And I remember that I reset the transformation. I delete everything, every split, and I did like 3 times, I think. Just, it was a good thing because I simplified the process. Doing so. I still ended up with 2 rigs. I asked the rigging to give me like innards of the robot as a rig, so I can use them and separate and do stuff inside. It's not very visible now on the final product, but with lights and effects and all. It's there. It's not striking, but So I end up adding these 2 rigs or bits of the 2 rigs to make them work. So what was the process was just, you know, do the big pieces first and then add details.
The tool you mentioned, I know the like viewers doesn't know about like our tool where we can like split and do the stuff. That was like a lifesaver, right? Because you could do like take any geo and then you split it and then you animate it with the controllers.
That was something that they've been working on since before I got there. And it was a godsend because it wasn't perfect, but it was really big help. I don't know how else would have been done, you know, like the old school move pieces and cut and hide. I don't know, would have taken ages, I think.
But transformation shots are kind of like the example of animating to camera, because otherwise it was impossible, right?
Oh yeah, that's one thing that you animate for camera, for sure. I was watching it, you know. I did some play blast, you know, from another angle. And it doesn't make any sense. It's like things going out and disappear and reappear. But so you get your your core animation, right, approved, then other pieces, the larger pieces, show the intention, what you're going to do. Was everything else kind of fall in the fold, and you end up with what you get approved in the end.
Yeah.
Fortunately, with that, I didn't have all that much all that many notes.
Yeah.
It took me a while though, because I was supervising and wanted
to finish that. I'm gonna mention something, and then we can talk about like supervising and stuff. I remember a shot I first saw when I joined the transformation, which was actually, I found out it's your shot, which was the Optimus Prime landing, like from the screen right coming here. I was like blown away by the details and like the weight and stuff you had there. I was like, who is this animator? Like, and then I found out it's you, and it's like, I just want to say like that shot for me is like, mwah.
Thanks, man.
So how was the supervising Transformers? What was the challenges?
It was pretty difficult in the sense that people were tired. And it's hard to push more stuff on people that are already tired. I think the biggest challenge was taming the beast. Hips over animated, for instance. They show a lot. The hips, they show a lot. Shoulders of the Optimus Prime's shoulders. Every there was no real simple shot there. Whatever it was simple in appearance, simple, you still had a ton of iterations, because all these elements on the robots, they shine, they probably move too much, or not enough. Sometimes even that is striking, that something doesn't move, right? I think it was containing a good direction on animation.
Because I know it's hard to keep like every artist to have the same kind of a level that you want, because everyone has different like animation style, kind of animation approach. And I think like in my opinion, it was maybe the part that you have to keep everything in the same level as a supervisor.
It was a ship hard to keep on floating line. I was lucky enough, I started in Transformers. I started as lead, right? And at some point I needed another supervisor, and I remember Emil called me, dude, do you want this job? And I was like, dude, can I give me a day or two to think about it? And then I called him back, what am I going to think about it, I know it. What is going to be stressful? Sure it is, just take the bus and you are going to find some stressful source there, it was a show that I was tempted so many times to quit, different reasons, but it wasn't an easy show, right?
I agree.
But the back of my mind was, why would I quit this? Seriously, you are going to regret it for of your life.
Because now you have it in your portfolio, like you can say you have a Transformers in there.
No, it's a good achievement, man. I was very lucky to be part of.
I want to become an animator. What is my first step?
Well, I can tell you what I did when I start discovering that there is more than just locomotion, acting, performance, etc. Start reading about acting. That's beyond the animation books that you find in general, Richard Williams or whoever. Acting books, directing books I read, editing, books about editing, anything that would be related to movies.
Yeah.
I found that reading about acting opens your eyes quite a bit, even though you are not a good actor or you can be shy of camera or whatever, but to me it's an eye-opener.
Yeah.
And that's basically what it counts quite a bit. Being aware of things. To be honest, the 12 principles of animation that become like a whole list now. I can't name them all.
Yeah.
I can't. I knew them. I am aware of them.
Yeah.
But they live with you.
Yeah, they become like subconscious.
Muscle memory.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that you need to open your eyes. Even if you just read, novels.
Yeah.
Look at comic books. Comic books and graphic novels are a great resource of posing.
Yeah.
Things that you don't see in real life, although they are based on. That's something that I'm looking at. I would look at.
Yeah.
Second thing, if you start animate small things, like just the arm, practice that kind of thing. There is the bouncing ball, right?
Everyone starts there.
Sack of flour. The flour sack. You need to do small increments at the beginning. If you start just head first in, a full course of parkour, you get probably tangled. You are going to have something for sure.
Yeah.
But probably there will be a ton of things that you would like to go back to fix them, right?
Yeah.
So, in principle, I think you just need to isolate bits, practice them, and get them as good as possible. It reminds me of when I was in 2D animation, there was a saying, if you can draw a hand, you can draw everything.
Yeah.
That's somewhat related, because there is study in it.
Yeah, of course.
But that's how they do, actually. They do studies, like, even as a craftsman, right? You do studies of elements, not of the whole 16th chapel.
Yeah.
So that's baby steps. I think it's a good, safe way to advance.
Yeah.
And I think it's pretty fast.
Yeah. I remember from my experience, I was always wanting to take big things and do, like, even though I know I don't know them, I try to go in, and you realize that when you don't know the basics, like you didn't really went into, I don't know, bouncing ball and stuff. You don't understand these things. and then the big things will be a mess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when I start first time in 3D, we had this Learning Maya book.
The big one. It was like...
No, it was something like this,
Oh,
I think. I think it was Maya 4 or something like that. Was it Alias Wavefront, I think, at that time?
I will not remember.
That was the company I owned it, before Autodesk. And I remember it was full of mistakes.
Yeah.
I think it was written by heart.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had to reverse engineer stuff, to make a foot roll, with driven keys and etc. I had to write notes down to the right sequence of procedures, to build up a rig like that.
Yeah.
And I remember because with Maya, I started, with small things like bouncing ball. I rigged my own character. I did a few things with it to, practice.
Yeah.
That was still a sideshow for me because I was still into the animation.
Yeah.
But I think beginning with small things eventually is going to drive you towards the complete picture. Yeah, you can get discouraged. You jump in a big project, like I want to do these 500 frames of animation. Sooner or later, you are going to probably get discouraged.
Yeah.
Not that there's something wrong with it, because you are just pushing your own limits further. Look, there is no golden rule, right? So
yeah, of course.
For some people that works, for some don't.
Yeah, but like statistic shows that you need to go little by little to the big ones.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. But at all time you need to step back from your work. That's for sure. You need to step back, just like a painter, step back to see the whole picture.
Yeah.
And then get back in, and then analyze again from distance. It's very easy to get lost in your own thinking process, and you pay too much attention to a detail that probably is not going to show that much.
Yeah.
And you miss the big picture.
Let's talk about the trendy stuff. Like, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of this, but I know that it's happening and it's in the industry. And it's like AI, artificial intelligence. And like, you have an immense experience where you saw a lot of changes in the animation industry, like 2D, 3D, and then there is new AI stuff coming up. Hopefully not too soon, but it's coming, I think. What is like your take on AI? Is it good? Is it bad? Is it okay that it's like happening, or will it help us or will it damage the industry?
Well, look, I don't know.
It's just like your opinion.
Yeah, look, changes like this been already, right?
Yeah.
This AI, in my understanding, it's going to help.
Yeah.
Right? It's just like, think of that, how we load, unload bricks before, right?
Yeah.
It was all by hand, right?
Yeah.
Then the forklift came about.
Yeah.
Sure, the people lost their jobs, but they did something else.
Yeah.
It's survival in the end, right? But things are moving. You are loading faster now, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be a big support. It's just like mocap, right?
Yeah.
They first brought in the mocap. I'm sure a lot of animators, they were like,
Yeah, what is this?
what is not art.
Yeah.
Well, still is, but to a degree, right? It's a support for your craft.
Yeah.
That's going to be the case probably with AI. It's going to diminish vastly the amount of positions in a studio.
Mm-hmm.
But something else is going to show up for sure.
Yeah.
It's ever changing. Sorry.
Yeah.
The industry it cannot stay in one spot, right?
Mm.
No matter how conservative you wanna be.
Yeah. So it's like the energy in the physics it's not disappearing, it's changing kind of.
Yeah,
The form.
I would think so, yes.
Yeah.
I don't see it as bad, Look, there are tedious things that you would be more than glad to have help with, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think I'm not 100% because I don't know how it's going to evolve from this point. It's still early days, right?
Yeah.
But it's not going to like vanish jobs all at a sudden or 100% of them. Or sure, there's going to be a lot of benefit in it, a lot of loss as well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, and in the end, we have some questions from the viewers, which I want to ask you. So the first one is, you worked a lot of years in the industry, and have you had any like artistic crisis where you like felt discouraged, where you felt like you're not good enough, you want to quit, and like if that happened, how did you like manage to get rid of it?
Yeah, look, it happened when, for instance, 2D animation. In early 2000, I think the 2D industry went down.
Mm-hmm.
Less and less shows, less and less work. Right?
Yeah, because the 3D stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what was the change.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, yeah, it was a Toy Story.
Yeah.
Just came about, and I've seen it in the cinema. Then at the time, I wasn't super impressed with it. I said it was the denial in me, right?
Yeah.
But that was something that curbed a lot, to the industry.
Mm-hmm.
That was when I knew I had to change. That's why I started learning Maya.
Yeah.
It wasn't that I didn't really have work, but it was less and less. I could see that, it was less and less work. It was harder to get because
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a time when I changed tracks, basically. But even when I was in 2D, I always had that doubt, right?
Yeah.
Am I good enough? That's when you have to push yourself, right? Draw a lot, study. That everything that you're doing pushes you further.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that you are getting better if you are analyzing, studying, still whenever you can, you know?
Yeah.
Nobody invent anything really.
Yeah.
Everything is transferred from one another, improved. Yeah. I think it was Seamus Cohen book, I don't remember what it from, Script to Screen or something like that. He had an exercise there for 30 seconds, draw poses like every 10 seconds,
Gate changes.
change
Yeah.
pose, 30 or 10 seconds, just sketch up fast poses, out of your imagination only.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how much it improved my posing.
Yeah.
I can't tell you. I was doing this when I was in Valencia at the studio there. On the beach, I had a stopwatch and draw.
Yeah.
And that improved me a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, because like doing something over and over again like makes you like really remember that stuff. And it's like,
and it's shortening the distance between hand and brain, basically.
Yeah.
Just let the brain do the job.
That's a cool phrase. Yeah.
When I switched to 3D, oh my God, for 2 months, I really felt like my right hand was chopped. And doing things with the mouse, there was a conflict between brain and hand. And I tell you, for 2 months, I was like, I don't know what to do with the hand, It was really strange.
Yeah.
Really strange feeling.
Okay, so next question is basically there are a lot of people using mocap, and you mentioned about mocap helping the animation and stuff. Was it a luxury before, or was it like an industry standard, or it just like rich companies that have the mocap technology? And how it works today?
I think the project dictates that.
Yeah.
That's why in Transformers we use mocap. Because hand animating all that would take ages.
Yeah, of course.
Would just take ages. Far too long for any decent production house, In games, it's the same way. It just speeds up, Look, you can take a mocap even from a database, buy a lot of mocap and change it to your liking. That is happening with the games or movies. There is a budget that goes there just to save time, right?
Yeah.
You edit it a lot. It's not staying that way. In Valhalla, we had to. Because it was somewhat stylized, the animation. It was realistic, but somewhat stylized, So the mocap was way too slow for the speed of the game, right? So we had to edit that a lot. Kept a handful of poses and add between.
Yeah. I remember it was the opposite for Transformers because the mocap was too fast for the Transformers.
Yes, exactly. Slow it 20%, 50%. But even then, we cleaned it up. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there is a lot of noise, unwanted noise. In the mocap, it's just the way the sensor work, the way it's converted to rigs and etc. It can bring a lot of inaccuracies, right?
Yeah.
That you have to clean for sure, but you still have to enhance, posture, speed.
The contacts and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Nothing matches really.
Yeah. Okay. Next question was, this one is a long one, so I have to read it. It says in games, the animation are often very abrupt, sometimes even half-hearted in favor of the gameplay. It would be interesting to know how easy it is for an animator to get away with it when the integrity of animation is sacrificed to the gameplay, if that's the case, of course.
In general, I don't know. In the meanwhile, I think technology also evolved, in games as well. The bit of animation that you are supposed to do for an attack, for instance, is not stopping there. It's continuing.
Yeah.
Right? You have recoils, you have all that stuff. It's just the player that interrupts it.
Yeah.
It's up to the player, let's say it that way, chopping the animation.
Yeah. That makes sense.
You still have to be, responsive. I mean, the way you do an attack is not going to take 6 frames.
Yeah.
Depending on the style of the game, right? But you still have to, the responsiveness needs to be there. So from here to here, you shouldn't have more than 2 frames, for instance.
Yeah.
But what's happening after, it should flow.
Yeah. The last question that we have is, what are the main difference between working on games and movies for animator? Where do you have more freedom?
In my case, the most freedom I had in games.
Games.
Yes, it's more forgiving, I think. Trying to think of a context. Look, in VFX, you are pretty much bound to a timing, script if you get the hands on, the action, right? It's pretty well defined. It's very little room to be creative there. Although I like creativity between limits, it's probably the best place I really enjoy. Yeah, I think still in games I had the most freedom of adding the subtext or enhancing mocap or I don't know. It just felt that I could do more. Sure, in VFX you can do a lot as well, but the occasions are not very often,
Because there are like limits from the client and from
exactly. I want this guy moved this way, and you're not aware. Again, you are not aware of the background story or what drives the character. Right? You need to be aware of his history, right?
So that's it. It was honor. Thank you so much.
No, thank you for having me, man.
So
Abracadabra.